I have seen human beings say that to other human beings. Well, if you can't cope, you're the problem. No, you're the problem. You're the problem. To ever convince yourself that you have the power in that way, to ever convince yourself that you deserve someone's energy space or you deserve to stay in someone's energy space when you're doing things like that.
Right.
Someone needs to take that blindfold off your eyes. Introduce yourselves. Why do we have to continually do it? You do it. I am Ashley. Welcome to the Daily Humans podcast.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. You should know who I am at this point. I'm Ashley number 2. So, hi.
Doppelganger.
Yes.
Hello, beautiful doppelganger.
Hello.
No, I can't accept that. You're your own individual, and you're beautiful, and I love you, and you're Nina. Hi, Nina. We love you, Nina. I
Hi,
just couldn't
Ashley.
accept that you were. Yeah.
Hi.
Say?
I said hello.
Hi.
Oh, and hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast.
Still watery eyes from the last episode too. Truly, it's just like an absolute ripple effect. It just passes through the weeks and the days and the months and the years. I'm going to be named Watery Eye Ashley. Hello, welcome to the Daily Humans podcast. I'm Watery Eye Ashley. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Watery Eye Ashley. She just won the award for most teary-eyed person in the whole world.
Yes.
Let's give a round of applause to Watery-Eyed Ashley. Woo!
I want to thank all the water people, the ones that have water star signs in their chart. I want to thank Aquaman, and I want to thank them for resurrecting Superman, and I want to thank my body. Sorry.
You should have stayed dead, Superman. Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to thank my body for producing tears and not listening to society when it told you that crying is a womanly, overly emotional thing. So thank you. And please stop now because my eyes hurt. Thank you. Goodbye.
We give it up.
Bye.
We give it up for Ashley's body.
I don't want to do it anymore. Probably couldn't even hear me. The moment you move away from the mic, it just blocks you out. You're done.
I could hear you.
The mic's like, yeah, you're out. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Well, that's good because I was worried. I was like, once I'm far from the mic, that's it. It's not picking me up anymore.
You were fine. Yeah, no, but we're definitely giving a round of applause for your body because your body is breaking barriers for all the people around the world. So all the fan pages that are about to come up because of this episode, yes, thank you. Thank you, Ashley's body. Thank you, Ashley, watery-eyed Ashley. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing in this world today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Oh, jeez. You know, just to say this too, for all the fellow hay fever sufferers and watery eye people that literally have to put eye drops in their eyeballs so many times a week, month, year, this award is for you also. You're very brave, you're very strong, you're very courageous, and you are what runs these countries. Thank you. You keep the eye drop industry alive.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Oh, gosh.
Nina keeps the Nina's Wisdom Company alive, which is her own. She actually owns it. And she's the founder and CEO and everything.
Inc. Incorporated. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, it's going to expand one day, and her wisdom it's already expanding. Actually, it's out there. People can hear it, and they understand her wisdom and they can hear it, see it, and feel it. And yeah, it's such a beauty to behold. And when that company grows massively and takes over the whole world, just, come back to this podcast episode and let's all clap together. Actually, in a new episode, we will. We're clapping now for her anyway because she's got wisdom now.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the love and appreciation. I want to just take this moment in my award speech and just say, F you, Amazon. Thank you. Have a good night.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. It's going to be my
That was such a
speech.
moment.
Yeah.
I love that. You please go on stage and just say, fuck you. And then walk out. Oh, jeez. Fuck you, FedEx.
What did FedEx do? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm not even American. What can I say? What can I think of?
Google.
They're pretty fuck bad. You, internet. Out.
Vodafone. Not great.
Vodafone. Yeah, nah. User disappointing. You've really been just. I don't understand how my 4G or 5G struggles to actually find connection in residential areas. I just want to understand that. I really want to understand it.
It's the lines.
Actually, no, I don't. I just want to leave. It's like a relationship that I really want to break off. But I will be breaking off. So you better prepare yourself, Vodafone, because we're breaking up. No apology, no sympathy, nothing. We're done. You had your chance, a million chances, and you even got hacked at one point too. So, we're breaking up.
Yeah. You deserve better than that, Ashley. There's so many different companies in this world that can treat you so much better. Yeah, no.
Yes, exactly.
It's a toxic relationship.
Nina's wisdom company will treat you better. You give me that 6G, Nina.
Yes. 6G. Wow, we're ahead of time.
We are. Have you seen us? We are absolutely out of this world. Even when some moments where we have our episodes, we're out of this world. So invent the 7G, my friend.
In fact, we don't need 7G because we have telekinesis. So I'll just give that to you. No need for phones.
We're psychic.
None of that. We can just instantly connect whenever we want to. We just click on our, knock on our little mental door and be like, yoo-hoo, Ashley, hi.
I'm there right now. I'm in Germany.
Yeah, great. I mean, don't come here. The Wi-Fi is terrible. I feel like the connection would break off. But satellites and stuff, I feel like that would probably be better in Australia. You guys have more land, so makes sense. It's girl science, okay? Anyway,
there's a company that their ad is literally the internet that flies. There's a company that literally has that as the advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that their internet flies? Do you think it flies? Or do you think it crashes and burns and disintegrates right then and there? Because I think it disintegrates. I don't know where they get their advertisement ideas from, but if their internet is flying, something's flying, but it's not their internet. It's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, my friend. I don't know what's better and who's better and where's better, but yeah, we're in 2024 and already I feel like my internet is still in the early 2000s.
Same.
Barely accessible. It's what it still feels like.
We actually have a town nearby where I live that don't even have phone connection. So you have to use landlines. Yeah, you have to use landlines. There is no phone connection. It doesn't work.
That's very nostalgic. I would feel very much like my childhood in that moment. I wouldn't actually, I don't know. See, now that I'm kind of complaining a lot, I'm thinking to myself, if I was in that situation, I don't know, maybe I might be okay with that. Unless it's the podcast, then no.
Yeah.
Needing internet for this podcast, then no, I would not be okay with it. But actually taking it back to landline days, just for the nostalgia though, not for the spam calls. The amount of times they would call the hackers, the spams.
Mhm.
There was one point, my mum did it actually, where she picked it up and they were asking for her and she was like, no, she's dead. And then just hangs up the phone, hoping that they would never call back if they know that Cynthia Woods is dead. I was like, at this point, you got to get creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't miss that though. No misses of the miss.
No misses of the miss. Yeah. That's gonna be it for today's episode.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. I love the way you say that. That's
Wiedersehen.
amazing. Auf Wiedersehen.
Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. That sounds a bit Canadian. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
So, I love the Canadian accent, by the way. Like, it's so cute. It's so small and minor, but once you hear it, you can't unhear it. It's just, it's cute. Guten Tag.
What does it sound like?
Kind of like that. You know, it's I can't replicate it.
Like,
I don't have anything in coming to mind right now.
I honestly don't tell the difference personally between American and Canadian. I don't think I've ever heard it.
Are appalled, Ashley. The Canadians are appalled. They're in the chat right now, typing very heavily. Or just being very nice, because I hear how Canadians are actually super nice people. So they could be typing very heavy and breathing heavy and just be like, Ashley, we love you, but we are not the same.
That's so funny. We're not the same. It's okay. Yeah. We hear what you're saying, but we're not the same. I'm so sorry. Truly, I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's just really it. I'm not paying attention. Okay. When I watch movies and stuff, and then I find out that the actor's Canadian, I guess maybe they put an American accent on. Maybe that's why. And I just don't. I can't.
It's very minor. It's very minor. It's not. It's just certain words, like at the end of the sentence and things like that, that get pronounced differently. So it's not anything like, "Hey y'all, how you doing?" Like it's not nothing like that.
You know, it's funny because when you just said that, a song popped into my head, but it had nothing to do with America. It had nothing to do with Canada, yeah.
Canada.
It's a new place I created.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a song popped into my head. Most random thing. You come from a land down under. Women glow and men blunder.
That's
can you hear that thunder? You better run. You better take cover.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why that popped into my head. Actually, I'm glad. I said to Nina before this episode started, I said, Nina, do you know what song was playing in my head? See, it's back in my head again. Has been playing in my head throughout all of today. The Phantom of the Opera is there inside your mind. That has just been going through my mind over and the same sentence too. The same sentence over and over and over and over again. And I said to Nina, I was about this close to actually just knocking myself. I would have just taken the fist and gone from it. I would have chloroformed myself if that was available. I could not. Don't understand why our human mind does this. Over and over and over again. And it's doing it now. And the song, you know, da, 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 like, you know that part of the music?
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Ah!
Sing for me, Ashley.
Oh, geez, it's in my head again.
It was in my head right before we started this episode too. I was like, and the Phantom of the Opera
is there. Inside your mind.
Oh, in your mind? Okay, whatever.
I'll sing once again. He starts, ah, la, 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 la. You know what? You know what I could do with right now? Dumbledore's wand, where he puts it to his mind and he takes out a thought. I really could do with that right now.
Or Men in Black. They do have that thing, you know, the little gadget thing, stick thing, and they're like, pew! And then you don't remember anything. It's like a flash of light. Everything is gone.
Yeah. I like
What
it.
you can't remember. It's literally in the song.
Nina, my friend Nina, since you have your company, have you ever thought about inventing something like that?
I mean, if there's anybody out there who has some prototypes, we would absolutely be open to discussing a situation, a work situation. So, scientists, listen up.
On behalf of all the people like me who want to forget many things, take the opportunity now.
Yeah.
And that is not a threat. I don't threaten people.
Unlike some people who do.
Yeah, I
And
don't do things like that.
speaking of people who are typing very, very heavily into their keyboards and breathing heavily into their keyboards. I hope not into their keyboards. I don't know what I'm talking about, but people who are online.
A lot of breath.
It's a lot of breath. I can't have asthma for that. But
I wonder how the laptop feels or the phone, the screen of the phone.
oh my
Hot
gosh,
breath.
yeah.
Smells like something. Smells like we don't know, but we're finding out. I wonder how your phone feels. Like if you asked it when you put it there and you go, "Oh my god, I have to triggered."
Oh yes. Being online has been interesting. You know, Ashley and Ashley has been in the advocacy for a little bit longer than I have now. Like I've been doing it in like my personal space, talking to people on the phone, being like a proxy therapist. But that's how I've been navigating through stuff. But doing this podcast has been really interesting. Because it has opened me up to a lot of different comments and just behaviors that I've seen and just people post about online as well. And it comes with its own journey. And so today we wanted to kind of dive into that because we've seen a couple people kind of speak out about this and we wanted to partake in this as well and kind of hone back what the online space is supposed to be. And if you have a channel, whether you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, a creative, a social media influencer, whatever you want to label yourself as, even as just a person who doesn't use it for work, who just uses it for fun, we kind of wanted it to pull it back towards that and say, hey, this space is for me. I deserve to be here. I deserve to take up that space and I deserve to have fun and I get to control who speaks to me and in what way. And yeah, just kind of partake in that. But a couple days ago, I watched a video and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but there's this woman on TikTok and she has videos of her and her cat just laying in bed singing. It's super cute. It's the cutest thing you will ever see in your entire life. The cat meows in certain aspects of the song and it's to die for. But she went online and she was like, I had to take some of my videos down because there were individuals coming into the comment section saying horrifying things of her abusing the cat, of her like doing weird things, bullying her on her appearance, and then even going as far as to invade her like private lives and stuff that she has for charity and raising money and trying to get her to do stuff for the camera for said viewer. And it was disgusting, it was creepy, and she was just grossed out by the entire experience, which is rightfully so. And it had me thinking, why? I mean, I feel like that's a lot of the reason why we do episodes on the topics in which we do, because I and Ashley sit there and we're like, why? Why can't we have nice things? And this is one of those episodes. So sit back,
Mm.
enjoy, and let's partake in this conversation, because it is absolutely ridiculous what people have allowed themselves to do online, how they speak to you online, how they project onto you online, and try to make you out to be something that you're not. And we've experienced it in our own ways. And yeah,
Hmm.
take the
Yes.
stage, rockstar. Sing
Oh,
for me,
I
Ashley.
never. Sing once again. Oh, you know what song you're like, take it to the stage rockstar. So you know what song popped
Yeah,
into my head?
yeah.
I've been popping pills and I can't remember the words, and I feel
You're
just
a
like a
rock
rock
star.
star.
Hey.
I can't remember the words. Spoken like a rock star. That's all I remember. Shout out to Post Malone.
Yeah.
Um, I've been online. I started advocating when I was 17, as I think I've said on this podcast before, but I wasn't exactly fully doing it online. I was just volunteering with organizations. The
Yeah.
first organization was Reach Out, and I was helping with the online forums. So you just sort of moderate them. And then you also talk to people, you assist, you guide, stuff like that. So I really just progressed through my understanding of that. And then also my own things, and then also just other areas of the field, just sort of navigating through, flowing through things. But I wouldn't say that I was fully into it, because I honestly couldn't be at that age. But as the years progressed, um, 21, was it? No. Oh, geez Louise. After 21, I started to dive a little bit deeper into mental health advocacy and started to advocate with other organizations as well as just Reach Out. And then the online social media presence, I think, don't give me a direct timeline, because I honestly, I don't even know when I fully started posting. I honestly can't remember for the life of me when I actually started to post about mental health stuff. But I do know that it was a mixture at that time of makeup, because I was doing special effects and makeup. So then I started sort of switching it up and incorporating mental health, and then I just went into there. But the thing is that I was always afraid to actually be seen. So I kept it in sort of like a containment, you know. For a long time, I was afraid of being seen, because I know of the capabilities of human beings.
Yeah.
I know what they do, I know what they're capable of. So it was sort of advocacy from my safe space, really. Beyond Blue, Reach Out, etc., doing table talks and so on and so forth. But now here we are. I have become a lot more out there in posting on TikTok, and I even had my own podcast at one point, and was sort of moving into that direction of being seen very slowly. But where that started to happen was it opened up my safety box without me even, like, I guess, doing it myself. It just happened. And people came in, and it was very difficult at the start, because people's intentions are to react and to fulfill for themselves. That's really what it is. It's to fulfill for self. Imagine just like, it's like a job. I think it's like a job for some people, where they jump online, they get up in the morning, da 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 da. They jump on, whether it's their laptop or their phone. This is how I'm imagining it. So come with me on this, right? Sit down. They might have a coffee. They might have breakfast. You never know, right? You don't know. They get on their phone and they go, who can I project on today? It's like, except for being paid, like physically being paid with money. They're being paid with energy and ego and the fulfillment of that. It's like if I'm going to turn it into a movie. I'll turn it into a movie. It's like on my laptop right now, right? You are all looking at me. I'm absorbing your energy. Imagine that. Like all your energy. I'm taking it all. It's all mine. It's mine for the taking. And I'm sitting there just like typing it out like, oh my gosh, you're just such an ugly blah, 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 blah. And like, this is what they do. This is the job. This is the dedication, just taking your energy. And it's fulfillment. It's ego. They walk around like da, 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 playing Snoop Dogg in the background. Da, 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 da. Snoop Dogg. Walk down the street like I am invincible. No one can mess with me because I'm sucking all the energy. That's what I kind of think of it as. A job that you don't get paid for, but they do because it's fulfillment for self.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it like this, may I just say. I did not see it like this. It was a very tough experience having people come in and project on your space, and I did not know how to navigate that. I didn't understand it either. You know, of course you have all the whys go through your head and you think, aren't you a human being? And this is what you're choosing to do with your time and energy. I'm angry with the world as well. I definitely have my grievances with humanity, but right. I definitely don't sit down and flex my fingers. Oh, yes, get the stretches in. Oh, yes, stretch the scoliosis and start, I'm going to project on this person and project on that person to help my fulfillment in life. Oh, and I'm going to go to the pearly white gates and they're going to say, you fulfilled your purpose of making everyone's life a living hell. Great job. Yeah. So now coming to the now and knowing a lot more that I know and being in a certain space, it still has its moments. But at the end of the day, if you really think deeply onto people that do this stuff, a lot of people say it anyway, that it's insecurity and that it's a fulfillment of ego and all that. We all know this, right? And we all can say it a billion, trillion times. But at the end of the day, there's one other thing that I know, and I've said this many times before, and I said it in the accountability and responsibility episode, is that these people, 110%, I've witnessed this on TikTok. I'm going to say this. This was a great example. Thank you, brain. Someone decided to post a TikTok about someone, right? And it was sort of a degrading TikTok, degrading who they were talking about, right? That person decided to make a retract and tell them as it is and put them in their place for what they were saying. And I totally commend that. The person that was retracting, the person that was stitching the video, because it was about them, totally on their side for that. This person then decides to make a comment in their comment section saying, you've just made a whole lot of people come to my account and project on me. I don't deserve this. I deserve to be respected. I deserve a lot better than this. And I sat there and I'm reading this and I'm processing and I thought, So you want to be heard, seen, validated, and loved. So you want all those things. But what you just put out essentially is the complete opposite of that. And for you to think that you're entitled to being heard, seen, and validated and loved when you're not putting that kind of energy out there, it's a human accountability that I just think a lot of people really don't see. I said it in that episode where I said that people want to be loved, but yet you literally put out hatred to everyone. If you put out hatred to everyone and you want to be loved, I don't know. I can't say anything after that, because where do you find the connection? Where do you make the connection with that in general? It just doesn't work, right? These people that do these things, they're human beings at the end of the day. They have desires. They have potentially things that they want for their lives, things that they want for themselves, their life. Basically, I said it. If you project the energy out there, I do believe that it comes back to you in a way. I really do. I really do. Whether that is comes back to you online or in your personal life, or realistically in your own space, whether you become more in a space of insecurity or you become more in a space of protective mode, whatever it is, you struggle within friendships and relationships, whatever it is. It's not about some kind of karma or anything. It's just the consequence of you putting out this unsafe space for other people, what that creates. Your internal space is the creator of your external, really.
No, I completely agree. And I just understand Ashley herself has taught me so much about being online as well and just what's out there because I will not lie. I, for a long time, just as an average internet user, did not check comment sections. And the reason of that being, I think I was 13 at the time. And I wanted to be a singer so bad. And I was like, I'm going to make it happen. I might have actually been younger. I might have been 12, 13. And I was like, you know what? I'm seeing all these people on YouTube hitting it big, doing their music there. So I was like, I'm going to do this myself. So I can do this in my own house. I can record a video of me singing. I'm just going to post that, whatever. So I did. Completely went out of my comfort zone because music at the time was something that was so close to my heart. So sharing it with somebody else on the internet, with so many people being able to see it, obviously it's accessible to so many people. It was nerve-wracking for me. And I put it out there and I had like a weird mean comment being made. And it had nothing to do with my singing, it was more so to do with, I don't know. I don't know what the issue was with this individual. I can't remember the comment, but I remember at one point in time I had replied and I was like, you're saying this to a 13-year-old person, like 13-year-old girl, you must be so proud of yourself. And this individual was like, I don't care how old you are. Everybody's just a loser. Ha ha ha. And I remember just reading that after the fact, and I was triggered at the time. I was heightened because that was the first time I had a run in like this, and I was shaky. I was going through it, and I was like, how? How can you as a individual, no matter what your age is, go online and just spew on anybody and everybody and not care at all about the person you're affecting? It's something that I don't know if I can ever understand, but in my time of being on the internet since, I have seen things, oh my goodness. So I'm not really questioning a lot anymore, but Ashley kind of, when we started this podcast, really just honed it in for me and was like, listen, this is our space. We're not going to allow disrespect on that. You have every right to block and delete if that's what's necessary. And I love that. I love that attitude because so many people, they keep it up because there's this whole narrative of like, love me or hate me, I'm still making money. Bad publicity is good publicity. There are people literally on TikTok making rage bait videos just so they can get hate comments so that their views are up. And I'm just like, I don't want that to be us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that type of energy being projected towards us, and to have protection in your online spheres as much as you do in your real life is so vital, in my opinion, and something that Ashley has started within me. Because in the past I was always like, oh, my privacy this, my privacy that, I want to make sure that, you know, my information is being kept secret. I want to have some boundaries with things. But then I'm like, I didn't really have that when it comes to the people that were speaking to me, that I was reaching out to as well, including like old friends and people like that. I was just sharing. And that's the thing too, that I want to just go back real quick. Me as that 13-year-old girl, that's everybody online. Everybody who cares about something, who wants to share it, that comes with its own, I don't want to say baggage, but it comes with its own stuff in the back. You know, it takes a lot of courage to be seen. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there like that. And for somebody to just come into that space, if you don't agree, you can just swipe. I know it's revolutionary. It's
too difficult. It's too hard, Nina.
And then it's gone.
No, I can't. I need to say something. If I don't, the world will collapse. That's
Yes.
literally what it sounds like. It's what a lot of you
Yeah.
sound like when you just project
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. 100%. And it's not even just that. I feel like the thing that personally irritates me quite a bit is this projection of wanting to make a person look bad simply because you may not have had the full scope of understanding with what that person was talking about, or you
Mm.
disagree, whatever it may be. There's this attitude that people come into speaking with others online. And I guess it's the sense of anonymity. I can't say that word today. I apologize. But the sense of not being seen, right? When you comment on a person, you can make a fake profile, you can comment, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people talk about this, that is a driving force of why people bully online and say things online. I don't know if that's the case. I feel like there's probably more attached to that. But it's this sense of, you said this one thing, and I'm going to take it out of context and turn you into a person that fits my narrative of you and project that onto you. You're only this, you're only that, rather than really, like, you're a human being. You don't walk around just thinking about one thing all day long, right? So why would, in this particular moment, if a person says something in a video, then only be speaking about this one aspect of whatever it is you're perceiving as a threat? We're talking about very diverse people in this world, and they're all coming with their own thing, their own lives, their own baggage. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it for this episode. They're coming with their own thing, and they're meeting you in this presence, in this very small increment fraction of this human being. You're seeing them online. It's a video. It's something that they're sharing. It's something that, is a hobby or something they want to teach you. You're experiencing that person on a micro level, and yet you take that single second of something that they said or something that they post, and you create a whole narrative about a person, who they are as an individual, as a whole entire human being, species on this earth. And I think it's interesting. I also think it's interesting to see the mindsets of people when they do comment. You have people who are supportive, people who are just like, ugh, gross. And then you have people who are actually trying to understand. And then you have people who just project. And I feel like the comment section on the internet, when I have seen it on rare occasion, unfortunately, has is a very, very big indicator of the mental health of the society. And I really think it shows the underbelly of all the issues that we tend to ignore. And like Ashley said, people go online to project so they can feed off of that energy. But I also think it's to release energy when they are not satisfied with their own lives. And so they have to make somebody else feel small. And I think it's just sad. But I think it's fantastic that, Ashley, you go ahead on online spaces and you hold yourself to that. You hold people accountable as well with what they say to you. You don't coward, backwards. You don't portray cowardice. I don't know what that word is. You don't cower away from it. You hold people responsible. And I think that that's amazing, because it is so incredibly necessary. And you have to meet it with, you can't meet it with like, oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not what it is. You have to be like, no, you don't speak to me that way. If you can't talk to me right, don't talk to me at all. Goodbye. So yeah.
Off with the zone.
Auf Wiedersehen. Exactly.
Auf Wiedersehen. Out of here.
Oh.
No, you're right. You're right with everything that you said. And jeez, there's a lot swirling through my head. I remember too when people used to say things like, you can't delete the comments because that just looks pretty weak on your part to be doing so. And it looks like you can't cope with it. I remember hearing things like this, and I thought to myself, what in the human experience are you talking about exactly? People think that someone should keep negative comments in their space for what reason? So what, they don't seem to be weak? Aren't we trying to deconstruct that from society? for the health of human beings, including men. Don't people have a lot of those conversations about men's mental health? The whole connection with weak. Keep mean comments in your energy space, because if you delete them, then you're just so sensitive. You can't cope. You need to assess that. You're the problem. I have seen human beings say that to other human beings. Well, if you can't cope, you're the problem. No, you're the problem. You're the problem. To ever convince yourself that you have the power in that way, to ever convince yourself that you deserve someone's energy space, or you deserve to stay in someone's energy space when you're doing things like that.
Right.
Someone needs to take that blindfold off your eyes. You're not owed any of that. You're not owed anyone's space. You don't have to keep negative comments in your comment section. Delete them, block them. If people say, I've seen people say things like, where's all the negative comments? No one seems to think like me. Wow. That's such a great thing to really equal as for you as a human being, is to think that someone deserves to be hated on and come in the comment section and project that. And when they say things like, well, I delete the comments, I'm not going to keep them in that space. That's exactly right. You're essentially keeping it in your energy space. For what reason? So people can say, oh, well, that's so weak. Great. The weakness, if we want to go there, I'm not a fan of that word, but what other word could I even use? No, I'm going to use it. I'm just going to entwine it with the actual reality of it. The true weakness is to be that kind of human being that spends their days dragging others down and deliberately attempting to take away any kind of safety, attempting to do that. Because in a lot of ways, the obsession that it's gotten to, where people have made consistent accounts just to bully one person when they've been blocked.
Yeah.
Continually to put your energy into doing something like that. The true weakness is doing something like that, is convincing yourself that that is acceptable. There's just, don't keep the comments in your section, because you're keeping it in your energy space. That's literally what I said to Nina. The moment that it happens, they get blocked, they get deleted. And I do it on my own account. Anyone comes in, you're not staying in my space, because at the end of the day, it is in my space.
Yeah.
That is my space that I've created. You're a guest. That's it. You're a guest.
I love that.
And I decide how you show up in my space, right? That's really what it is. And and the other thing too as well is, we're here having a conversation about the human experience. It's advocating for human beings to literally exist in this space in a better way, for humanity to exist in a better way. If you can't have a conversation about that, and a conversation, general conversation, without meeting it with consistent fight, battle, argue, or project, then honestly, it's a step back, reevaluate, assess, and then come back when you're at a place where you're able to have a conversation. Because speaking just through your anger and your emotions, and this is coming from someone who did it. I did it 100%. I got angry and furious at a lot of things, of course. And I spoke through that because I didn't know any other way. But then I realized that no conversation can go further in movement when everyone's just arguing. I see it on Jubilee when they have those verse one-on-one conversations. When people get argumentative, when people speak through their anger and their emotions, I think it's very valid in a lot of ways to have you're going to have your emotions, right? But it's a balance of advocating for those who you're advocating for and making sure that you are not attacking people's appearances or going as far as letting it completely overrun you. If you cry or anything like that, that's valid. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like I said before, heading into the pathway where you start picking on someone, you start bullying, you start using anger tactics to try to get them to drop their voice, to silence them. It's doing the attempts of trying to control the situation, or not even listening, not even actively listening to what they're saying, just reacting.
Yeah.
Not just listening. What did I say the other day? I said, like, people don't, oh, what did I say? I said something like, oh my God, I said something and it was good. And I can't remember it for the life of me right now, but it was something on the
Maybe
lines of, yeah,
maybe it is people don't answer. People don't listen with the expectation to understand, but with the expectation to project. No, not project. It was something along those lines.
yeah, people don't listen to articulate a conversation, a general conversation. They listen to react,
Yeah.
to respond just purely through whatever emotions have come up in that moment.
With the intent to reply.
And again,
Yeah.
yeah. It is understandable to an extent. There are boundaries to it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we have to validate the humanness, but also the reality of what you're speaking about and why you're speaking about it. This is a learning experience for all of us in this field, even myself. And I might have moments where I slip 100%, not a perfection. But still, there are so many people that I see, they watch a 1-minute video, bam, that's it. This 1-minute video is the gospel. It's the entitled. That's it. That's just that. It's a 1-minute video out of a podcast that's an hour and something long. Not just for ours either. Others that I've seen, they'll post promos. It's a promo, people. A promo, a little snippet. That's what it's for. A snippet. Okay. Well, I think maybe we need to put that in the videos at this point. And people will literally take that as the entirety of the entire conversation. That's just it. That's just that. And it's like, there's the rest of the podcast that you can listen to, for starters, but also there are layers to these conversations. Even when I post videos that are not podcast related, I post videos that are a minute long, 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, discussing something. That doesn't mean that discussion on something, that's just it. There's no movement for anything else. That's just what it is. No, there are layers. If I'm talking about accountability or responsibility, and I'm talking about how your internal reality creates your external reality, and I'm speaking on that note, there are many more things to talk about within this pathway, but we'd probably be sitting here for a while, truly, because there's many things to all of this.
Right.
So when you get online and you listen to someone speak, right, it's not the gospel. It's not just what it is. And then that's it. So when you go to respond through general conversation. Maybe try that. Practice. It's something to practice.
Yeah.
Not to react, to talk. To talk to human beings. Talk one-on-one. I know where this comes from. I know why people talk through their reactions only. I know why. But there's no, I'm telling you, humans, how do you sit down human to human, your relationships, your family, your friends, how do you have a relationship if everyone's just arguing, if everyone's just in little punch mode, if everyone wants to rebuttal and butt heads? How do you expand from that, people? That's the same thing online. If you're constantly butting at each other, what then? No conversations can happen. No change can happen. No movement can happen because everyone's too busy fighting.
Yeah.
Rather than you and I against the problem. Okay?
Yeah.
Except for, you and Nina and I against each other. No, it's her and I against the problem. Literally, that is how it should be. Talk about it. If you disagree with something that we say, talk about it. Talk. Not come at us and start attacking things left, right, and center. That is just an unfulfilling conversation. There's nothing in that. That is literally nothingness. That is the definition of nothingness to me, is coming in and just jumping on some kind of bandwagon of let me just project on Ashley and Nina and talk about their appearance or something. There's just no energy in that. Like, I even just dropped my energy from thinking about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing with that. With the way that things are going on in the world, that to me is like 0%. You're not getting anything. It's done. Goodbye. You need to be dealing with yourself if that's what you're doing. You need to really self-assess yourself if this is what you're choosing to do with your time on Earth, right? There's so much out there that is happening. So many people going through it. We know it, but there's also great things happening too. That energy is going to be focused on that. So if you want to talk, talk. Let's communicate. Let's do it as human beings, human to human. That is how it should be. But if you're not able to do that, right? Like I said before, I've been in that place. Turn around, go back, sit down, just whatever it is, because it's only guidance, whether you journal it or not, or whether you talk to someone and you say to them, how can I be a part of these conversations, but actually be a part of it in a healthy way? That's really the thing. How can you be a part of these conversations in a healthy way where you can have a discussion, a healthy, calm, appropriate discussion? You can have disagreements, but appropriate. You're not hurting each other in the process of that. That's where my boundary also lies. But this is also, it gets difficult though, just to say, because I know that arguments can come from disagreements. It might happen. You can't control everything, okay? But it's still advocating for it to be a healthy conversation. That's what it is, advocating for healthy conversations and blocking out people that do not want that, have no intention of giving you that, have no intention of respecting you as a human being at all anyway. They are literally blocked. Toodaloo, wall up. You can talk to the wall and project on the wall, and you're not going to get any energy out of that one. So
yeah,
take the bricks.
I love that. I love that. Just amazing. Because the thing that it came up to mind is there's always going to be people that actually there are people, and it's not even just regarding to online. This is you being seen in the public figure. I think you have mentioned this before, Ashley. I'm not 100% though. Where it's like, just because you're a social figure, you can just expect things like this to happen. You should just,
oh gosh, yeah,
it comes with the job. And if you don't like it, get off the internet, get off media in general. And it's like, no, it's about treating human beings like human beings. And like you said, knowing what it is to have a healthy discussion. You can disagree, but you don't have to go into attack mode and start like offending the person you're speaking to just because they disagree. There are ways to communicate with people. And I feel like probably that's what it falls back on. It's people not knowing how to communicate. And listen, I get that. I've had to learn in my own way. I've responded in the past to conflict or what I perceived to be conflict when it wasn't. And it took me a while to learn, but I had people who held me accountable. And that's the thing. You have to hold these people accountable. So if you're somebody who's watching this, listening to this, and like, I'm currently struggling with hate comments, I'm currently struggling with this, and I don't know what to do, hold them accountable. Don't just accept it or feel like you, like Ashley said, keep it on your page for appearance sake, because I don't care what anybody thinks. It's your space. And like people talk about with digital footprint, it also has an energetic footprint. Technology is energy at the end of the day, as is everything in life. And so you don't want that type of energy around you or attached to you in any way. You have every single right. And I will repeat what Ashley has said to me. You have every single right to defend your space, your life, your you. And so it's just, it's an important conversation to have. And we are seeing this as, we're progressing throughout life. We're having people step away from social media and just be like, I'm taking a break because I'm not dealing with these comments. Good for you. There are people who see that as like, well, I'm just voicing my opinion. There is opinion and then there's offense, and It's about treating people the right ways, acting the right way. Just the same way you would not allow a child to speak to you that way, and you would be teaching your child, hey, you don't speak to me that way. This is how you communicate. That's like, I feel like we're back to teaching children lessons to adults. And it's interesting how like some lessons just were never really learned, And so now
No.
society has to teach you. Now people
Yeah.
on an individual level have to teach you. And it is what it is. But I feel like
Mm.
Ashley has said everything perfectly already. I have nothing more to add, just that you do you, and if somebody doesn't like it, if you don't like something that you're just keep swiping. So keep swiping, turn it off, put the phone away, put the laptop away, put the TV away, touch some grass. But you don't have to internalize it. Don't internalize it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said that in the accountability episode as well, where I was talking about how people, they want to validate their bullying behavior by saying that people in um, career lines that are seen more by the public eye, they basically asked for this. And to me, that is inhumane, because it's just you trying to validate being basically an asshole. It's you trying to validate yourself to be a projector, to be mean and horrible and heinous to other human beings. That's all I see it as. And saying, well, they've got money. Again, like I said in that episode, you profit over human beings. Money over human beings. You would hate it if you were treated that way. People would hate it if people they loved were treated that way. There's always this line in this entire conversation where it's like, well, I'm not going to care unless it's someone I know or myself. It's at the end of the day, the people that you're basically doing this to are human beings. That's just the entirety of this conversation. Living, breathing, existing human beings that are on this planet for a reason, that have their space for a reason, that are existing in their space for a reason. That's it. There's nothing more to it. They don't owe trying to prove that to anyone. Even if they don't have family, they still deserve to be protected, seen, heard, and validated. I think to ever say, oh, well, I'm not going to I'm going to treat everyone else how I want to, but my family and friends and myself are going to get the respect because we deserve it, but I don't care how I treat strangers.
Mm.
These analogies just get passed on. When you treat a stranger this way, that stranger treats another stranger this way, and then it's a continual ripple effect. Because at the end of the day, too, bullying comes from a self-entitlement. Adults like to say that children are the biggest bullies. I disagree. Adults are the true bullies. Children just copy what the adults do. Children just mimic. They're a sponge. They absorb the entire environment around them. Okay? They absorb what they hear, what they see, even just from strangers, not just from the people in their lives, but strangers as well. They absorb it, internalize it, and they create that version within themselves and project that outwards. Adults teach each other to be bullies. They teach teenagers to be bullies. They teach children to be bullies. They talk about how 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds and everything are bullying online and having their little moments. Where did that come from? Maybe it came from online, right? Maybe it came from other children. But where did those children get it from? Where did they get it from? At the same time as, insecurities, like I've said before, at the same time of low self-esteem and a low version of self-worth and self-value also participates in why people just try to fulfill that by using other people. As much as that's a part of the reality, it is also other human beings validating the inhumane actions. And then them thinking, okay, good. Well, I've seen my father and mother do this. I'm going to go online and do this. My uncle does it. I'm going to do it. My mates do it. I'm going to do it because it's validated. It's normal. It's been normalized. So totally, I can totally do this shit. from the early 2000s when fat phobia was at a high back then. I can't even say a high then because I feel like it's been at a high for a long time, right? People have been taught to normalize shaming someone for being a certain body weight. And still to this day and age, that's around because it's just been passed down the lineage. That portrays into this. People going online and not letting someone exist because they are considered too big, or they're considered too ugly, or they're considered this because they go against the beauty standards. All of this comes into the factor. It all is a part of the conversation, and human beings are to blame. We all have participated, all of us, even Nina and I, in one way, shape, or form, we have participated. It doesn't have to be bullying. I've never bullied anyone in my life. But it is about the reality of where this all just where this all stems from, where this all unfolds from, where people normalize it. You keep talking, like, people keep talking about the sadness of loss of life when it comes to bullying, when it comes to the online behavior, and they say we need to do something. It's literally you guys, the way that you speak, the way you do things, and that's not a blame. It's not about that. It's just about what you put out there that normalizes behaviors that you think are not a problem. You think they're subtle, or you think they're just like, yeah, this is a part of the human experience. We get to talk about other human beings like this. But when you're dealing with someone that has a certain way of going about things online, like obsessions, attachments as well, if you're feeding into that, oh my God, what's the best way to explain this? Fetishizations is probably a way that I'm going to go about this, right? If you create a fetishization of something and then someone's psychology absorbs that, they create their own version of it. That's basically what I'm saying. You create a disdain towards a body type, someone's psychology absorbs that and creates its own version, which then we have online bullying, we have trolls, and the extent that some of them go to of stalking, harassment, violence. I can't even begin to describe the layers of this. I can't even begin to describe that society thinks that it must be this massive image that creates all this. It's the subtle things, people. The subtle things that you think are normal. It's everyday people that are doing these things as well. Everyone always looks towards those that are seen the most online. And you know what? Everyone has a part that they play. But the reason why the reason why people that are seen the most, people go at them the most is because they're seen. It's just easier to look at them than it is to look at self. I really, truly believe that it's just easier for people to blame the person that is in the spotlight than it is to also look at self, because they're going to make mistakes as well. Yeah. I'm not going to validate everything. I'm not even going to go there. But it's easier to really pick on everyone else's mistakes, like I said, than it is to turn around and assess self and look into self. But there's just so much to all of this, truly. But when you go deep, like some days it gets exhausting going deep. Some days it really does. But I think personally for myself, all it shows me, and you said it, Nina, is like the state of society, the state of human beings. It's the state that human beings have been living in for decades. You know, inhumanity has always existed. And again, it goes back to the accountability and responsibility episode. Inhumanity has been unfolding in society for so freaking long. We had slavery, for damn sake. We had the Holocaust, genocide. You could literally burn people at the stake for literally whatever reason that someone deemed. If you literally wanted to do alternative medicine, you could be burned at the stake and called a witch. Like, yes, I'm going to take it there because human beings have been doing this crap for a long time. You know what it is now, though? It's just online, and it's trolls, and it's bullying. Bullying has always existed. Put it this way. Can you imagine what would have happened if you didn't have a title? Oh, wait, you can. You just look at the history of that and how you were treated if you didn't have a title.
Mm.
You were in survival mode every day of your life, basically, having to work, getting barely nothing, breathing in chemicals because the people that own these companies didn't give a crap about you. Enola Holmes, the second one, is a true story about Sarah Chaplin. I don't know if the character's real, if they changed the name, but the storyline of the match factory and them changing the ingredients, is that the way to explain it? The chemicals of how they were making matches. They changed the ingredients to a cheaper phosphorus. Ah, I got it. Phosphorus. They changed it to a cheaper phosphorus, and it was killing the women in the factory. And it took them having to, I mean, in the movie, I don't fully understand, I don't fully know how the story online fully unfolded in general reality, but it is a true story, essentially. And they were able to get away with that. And again, I've said this so many times, you might think it's not a part of the conversation, but if someone is feeling valid in doing things like that, of course it still exists in this day and age. It just shows up differently. I will say that a million more times. You're going to see a lot of promos of me saying the same things over and over and over again. I will, because as long as it's still existing in our society, I'm going to say it as many times as possible. It shows up as bullying online. It shows up as bullying in person. It shows up as, the control in the workplace, the bullying in the workplace. It shows up like that in political areas too. Like there's just so many different ways.
Yeah.
It takes away our safety online. It takes away our ability to show creativity and to show up as ourselves, really. This is what human beings are doing to other human beings. And everyone has a right to exist in the spaces that they want to exist in. Everyone has a right to be seen if they want to be seen in this way. Everyone has a right to jump on and have a say. And as long as obviously there's some boundary lines to that, everyone has a right to exist in these spaces. And I don't believe for a second that it should be accepted as a part of life to have bullying behavior, to have inhumane behaviors occur. It's not a part of life, and it is not validated. It is not normalized, and no one deserves it.
Yeah.
No one.
You know what it reminds me of?
Mm.
It reminds me like this whole, we have to tackle bullying. Oh my gosh, it's a problem. Or, oh, these wages are being lowered, but the prices are getting high. Oh, what are we going to do? We have to tackle this. Oh, health problems are coming up. We don't know what to do. Oh, we have a problem. We got to tackle it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of going to the doctors and being there and being like, hey, there's something wrong with my body. They're like, nah, what? There's something wrong. What's wrong? What do you think is wrong? And then you're like, well, I have this like really weird feeling internally and I can't really describe it, but it causes a lot of pain and this is where it's at. And they're like, we're going to give you some antibiotics. It's going to take care of it right away. What? You haven't even checked? No. The antibiotics are going to be great. You're going to be fine in a couple days. It's like treating the symptom rather than the issue itself. You're taking these minor fractions, and as a society, if you were like, oh my God, why is this on the rise? Why is this on the rise? Why is infertility happening? We got to tackle infertility when it comes to this. But like, it's a symptom to a bigger issue. What is the issue? If you want to tackle bullying, if you want to tackle infertility, if you want to tackle prices going extreme, if you want to tackle survival mode, if you want to tackle genocide, it's all connected to the same thing. That's what we're saying. And it has many different facets. It runs through many different courses. It's kind of like a giant computer. The human psyche is like a giant computer. And every time you have like a new character, a new baby come up, they're learning from what the algorithm that's already there. And then they're making something new out of it and vice versa. And it continues to trickle down. So we got to reboot it. You know what they said? when I was a kid and something didn't work, you got to shut it down and plug it out and put it back in and then turn it back on. And then it should run
Yep.
fine.
Wait 10 seconds. Once you switch it off, you got to wait 10 seconds and then you can turn it back on.
Exactly. That's what we got to do. We got to just switch off the noise. Got to switch off the noise and reboot the system, because the virus that's coursing through all of us, society right now, it's not gonna. I love that whole. Well, it's never gonna change. It's just that's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always gonna be. That's a cop out. Sorry, but I'm gonna call you out on that. That's a cop out. It's not just gonna be the way that it is forever and ever and ever. It's a active choice that you're making. You're either participating in the healing or you're not.
Would have never have changed if that was the case.
Right.
Imagine if the cavemen were like, "This the way it is."
Right. I bet you there were people like that, though.
Oh God!
You want to stay in the cave?
People?
What do you
mean? Be in the caves. We'd still be in the caves if it was just the way the life is. Things had to change. Things had to evolve. Yeah. And like I said in the last episode, it will continually happen, and it has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to. This has to happen. Everyone deserves to live, like I said, in a better environment, in a better space.
See.
In a better world.
Yeah.
Jeez. Nonetheless, we're saying all this, but it really just comes back down to, you know what? I'm not going to say it.
I would like to. It comes down to what you take from this moment forward. You know, like, is this going to be another thing that you listen to and then you're going to switch it off and go back to the exact same thing you did before? Or are you going to listen, try to take something in? It doesn't even need to be from us. It could be from anybody who's saying the same thing, essentially, because it comes out in different ways, in different forms, right? But we all know that bullying is an issue. We all know that it needs to stop because it's inhumane. But we can all participate in the world getting better in our own ways. It may not be on this like, oh, superhero, it's coming down to save us. No, we have to save ourselves. And that's just what it is. And that requires hard work, but we're capable of doing it and we can do it. The question is, are you willing to? And something that I would like to lead off with is, or end off of, not lead off with, end off of, is, you know what? I can't even remember. So I'm just going to leave it at that and just say that you have the absolute power to change your life if you want to. You can. Regardless of where you're at in life, you can make incremental changes that changes the whole trajectory of your life. It's kind of like the butterfly effect thing, right? So if you feel like something is wrong, if you feel like you want to do something more than what is already, before you, know that you have the capability of doing that and that it's okay. But it requires you putting in that effort in one way or another. And you can do it. It's within you. It's within all of us. Ashley has done it. I have done it. We continue to do it. And so can you. So to anybody who's listening, watching, tuning in, thank you. You're amazing. Get better at communication. There are books. There's many different ways to do that. And you got this. Don't be defeated by the status quo. You know what? I'm going to lead this one off with a little quote as well. Oh my gosh. Maybe this is going to become a thing. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
Ooh, a Cinderella story.
Yes. I love that one.
I love that movie.
Same.
Oh, forever a good movie. And I just want to end off by saying that this is all just guidance.
Yeah.
So everything is guidance at the end of the day. So it's up to you to decide your pathway. But at the end of the day, whatever you decide, energy has been scientifically proven. You don't have to be spiritual to believe in energy.
No.
And I guarantee that whatever you decide, that is your decision. But if you light your own pathway on fire, only you're going to feel the burn. And I literally live by that statement.
Yeah.
So just things to consider is that what you put out there, it may come back in one way or another. Who knows? It might not. I don't know. But yeah, this is just guidance. It's up to you. That's really it. It is up to you.
Yeah. You are in
Kind of
control.
space that you want to be. Yeah. Yeah, we either continue, living in a inhumane society in many different ways, or we actually, start to realize that we all deserve better and it should be better.
Yeah.
That's up to each individual. Can't control that. So, auf
C'est
Wiedersehen.
la vie. C'est la vie. Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Happy Sunday.
Happy
Lovely
Sunday.
Sunday. Bye bye.
Drink some water.
Get that water.